ready. Cards ready. See if anyone comes on. Oh, no one's here yet. This awkward moment. I'll see if there's any filters I want to use. Yeah. Good. Hiya. Hi, Miss. I was just messing about with filters while I was waiting to see if anyone comes on. Hi. Um, the purpose of the lives that are going to be on a Wednesday is like more towards what I do. Hey, Ray. Revelation. Hi, Dex. It's so to ask questions about your spiritual journey, about ways you might feel like blockages you may feel like you've got, um, how you feel like you might want to go next, and I'll try and answer them questions using cards and my intuition. I use cards as a nice prompt and gateway and a visual aid for you to be able to see what I'm seeing, what gateway I'm going through with it, and then the rest of it comes. So how is everyone? Got my favourite two decks with me today, which is by the same creator, John Halland, and I love them. I've got a question in the box. Oh, when did I discover I was a psychic? Lovely question, thank you, Dex. Um, when I was little, my mum said I had imaginary friends, and then it wasn't until I got into like my early 20s, my friends used to call me Guru Sos and say, "How did you know that thing that you said? How did you do that? Enjoy your food, Ray. How did you do it?" So I said, I was like, I don't know. So eventually, I went into like chat rooms, um, like spiritual development ones, and then finally I braved it and went to a development church, and the medium was amazed how I could read as a medium. So that's when I realised that it was actually a thing, an ability, a gift. So it was like, that was in my early 20s, and I'm now in my very late 30s, so a very long time ago. So I started this journey of a long time ago, and of recent years, Spirit gave me no choice but to come back. Well, I had a choice, but it would have been kicking and screaming or just do it willfully. Well, there's no questions. I'm going to pull some collective cards. Um, I know, and you've probably inherited it, Dex. Okay. Mm. Well, so I'm waiting. I've pulled a card, a collective card, and that's awareness. Now, Awareness is a word that keeps coming up a lot at the moment, and nobody in the collective is going to be surprised to ever see the word awareness at the moment, because it's very much a word of now. And I feel like the energies that I expressed about in a video earlier on, that it kind of feels like there's a shift between realms at the moment. I feel like sorry about this. Mason, Mason. Yeah, so it seems like we have to use our awareness as to what the energy shifts are going on, which ones we should kind of surrender to, which we should kind of be more wary of, because it feels like not everything is a place that we want to go, because there's like two parallel running timelines. There's several timelines, but there's main ones, and you have to be aware of what energies you're kind of surrendering to now and which ones you are avoiding. The spiritual war's been won, really, but we just have to know it and trust it and do our part here now. Thank you, Dex, for being the little helper. See what other cards? So we've got awareness and light now. And this makes me feel like we're doing so well. Like, we sometimes may question ourselves as a collective. How are we doing? Because there is a lot of inner fighting going on at the moment. There's a lot of exposures of what people call false prophets and false gurus. It's happening a lot. But we're winning the light. And it's not that I've got a thing to where I would say that the dark is bad, because it isn't. Duality exists within this matrix, and you can learn so much from the dark too. But the light, in the sense what I'm talking of here, is being able to see the way and be able to feel lighter of spirit, feel lighter of body. A lot of people say we're moving more into our light bodies now, we're becoming less dense. Some people say it's crystalline, and I see all that as just lightness. Even like in the Kemetic spirituality, where you weigh your heart against the feather of Manhattan, it's about lightness of your heart. I feel like we're moving to people have released a lot of things, done a lot of work on themselves, and we're moving into this feeling of lightness, where people can finally say, I've done a lot of work, I'm doing well. I think it'd be good to think about a topic of now, like, because a lot of people are talking to me about their dreams, about seeing extraterrestrials, and a lot of people are sensing these shifts and the shifts between the realms, and people are feeling like they're realm jumping when they just about going to sleep, or they can sit there and feel like they shift somewhere else and shift somewhere back. Now, I've had things like this happening to me for a while, and I can see that it is happening a lot more to a lot more people. So I feel like some of us have had it for longer, so that we can reassure people now. Yeah, exactly, Ray. Should I call you Ray or Rayvolution? Exactly that. I said this to someone yesterday. I feel like this time in the lockdown actually gave me more time to kind of work out where I'm at and what I'm doing than if we hadn't have had it. So, though it's been a terrible time for many people, for some people it's helped us to find our space in time and find ourselves. Um, so it was kind of like it had its good and bad, but for a lot of us it's been very beneficial. It's given us time to slow down, because in this world it's so fast paced, and you don't get a chance to be mindful. Hey, Ray with the beautiful hair. Yeah, so I feel like what seems to happen as well is that when people try and speed their lives back up at the moment, who have taken this time, they get hit with some ascension symptoms to slow them back down. So they're suddenly feeling like a bit like off and a bit out of it, and it's these ascension symptoms just whipping their behind to slow them back down and to help them know that it's spiritual, and the only way they're going to let the ascensions happen more for you is if you slow down. I don't think we're supposed to live life at that pace anymore. I think it's not beneficial, because to be mindful you can't live fast. To be mindful you've got to take time to breathe, and that's a big thing that people have become more aware of, even myself. Not breathing normal breath, but look at my admin. Thank you, Dexter. um, yes, it's that time to just breathing exercises. We reckon that we don't use a lot of our lungs properly, like we don't breathe properly. So when you do the breath work, you get a lot of the congestion and rubbish that could be at the bottom of your lungs out the way. Mason tail, the joys. So let's see what other things are coming up. I'll get my other deck actually. That deck doesn't feel like it's giving me anything now. Oh, straight away. So I totally agree. I feel like everything was going fast and faster. Now it's opposite. Yeah, it's like everything's got into like a reverse. Yeah, it's like time has shifted and changed, and as I say, time is a man-made concept. So I think as we become more connected to the essence of our truth, we pull away from things that are fictional to this matrix. And as time is a fictional element that's only for this matrix, I think you become more aware of a different energy to what time surely is. This card says refusing to see, and I've seen people be saying this week, that there's people in our collective that are still refusing to see the bigger picture. But then, in a way, don't we have to accept then that we are all one, but we're not all one collective. There's certain people who are here to do that and to be that, and there's some people who didn't come here for that, and they don't want to see, and some people can't see and will never see. And I think if we just give everyone love and compassion and just say, you know what, you're a fellow comrade in this life path. We might never see each other again and connect ever again, but I send you unconditional love and we move. I think I'm becoming very aware as we develop that as duality is part of this matrix, and as we shift on, you realise that even though it's duality, something we accept, it isn't something that we have to have in our lives as such if we don't want to. You know, people say, oh, if something happens this way, you have to have the total opposite. I don't think you have to in everyday life. Yes, to be mindful you can't live fast. Yes, yeah, thank you. We didn't reach a kind of climax. They reckon that humanity was going into a fall state, and that the people who decided to put the work in to ascend have reversed, so we're going off, but the ones who didn't are still in the fall state. And the fall state reminds me a bit of, you know, like the Bible stories with the fallen ones and stuff like that. It makes you feel like there's something quite I don't want to say biblical, but something of that type of essence going on. It's a big time. This is such a time to be alive, that these things are happening this way. That humanity is shifting in this way. It's an unusual time. Thank you to use little crew watching as well. I appreciate it. This is the first one of these, so obviously people are gonna have to get used to me being on my own at this time, and then what I'm doing. Um, Thank you, Dexter. Dex is my middle boy, and he's being my admin. Are you trying to get pocket money, Dex? Okay, let's see. Teach. Now that's an important one, isn't it? Because I feel like if you've known kind of where you're at and where you're going, we've kind of got. I'll be told years ago that at this point in this time I would be teaching and I would be having to step forward and speak, and I feel like there's lots of people who are tasked with that, having to pass on their little pass on their knowledge, but not just knowledge, because knowledge is like a key with no door. The door, when you open the door, you have to find the door, and it takes wisdom to find the door, and behind the door is further wisdom. Knowledge on its own is no good without knowing what to do with it, and that's when it becomes wisdom. When you know what to do with it, you become wise, and then you've got magic. So we can fill our heads with as much knowledge as we want to, but until we know how to put it into a practical essence in this spiritual journey, it's just words. And lots of people read lots of books and are full of lots of knowledge, but if you ask them about application, that's not very good. So the real spiritual teachers, I think, have to have been living a lot of what they're saying. So I think there's a lot of people who've had to go through a lot to get to this point, who have got a lot to teach. So I hope that more people step forward and start. They don't have to do this and sit online and talk. Ray does great lives doing readings. People should catch him at some point, as you've seen him, you won't see him in the comments on the replay. So it's ray.velation. Ray Relation is really good reader, so check him out. Yeah, so as they say, each one teach one. So when you've got something to say, give it out, because otherwise you become a bit like a sponge that's full of water, and it can't take in any more until it's squeezed out, and then the universe will give you some more. And remember, water's consciousness, so you want more of that. Exactly, Ray. The application, what's the point knowing it and doing nothing with it? I've done that in the past. I've been full of all different knowledge, and then I've got no idea how to truly do it. So I've pulled away from really talking on things that I have no practical working knowledge of, because I just feel like we're living in a time where using your throat chakra, my pleasure, Ray, you are awesome. Using my throat chakra in truth gives me more essence of being able to use truth further, and being able to give people actual words that mean something. But if I just talk about things that I don't really know anything about, I'm leading people down the wrong path in a way. It's like being a false prophet, isn't it? Like a false guru, and it's not the time to do that. Actually understand when you apply the concept. Yeah, exactly. Everything we apply, a shift occurs, and our outer world becomes changed. And in 2021, it's happening so fast now. It's people say, "Oh, everything's manifested." So it's not just manifestation. This goes deeper than manifestation. This is like actual. It's like alchemy. It's like life alchemy. That you do this and you do this bit, and all of that changes, and suddenly you just faced with a newness, something else to move up to, because you took the steps to try something that works for you and works with your energy. That's why there's no one answer on this spiritual journey for anyone. No, there's no one size fits all, because we're all here for different reasons. So as you apply the things that your guided and downloads tell you to apply, you get to experience more of the essence that you came here for. But when you're following a path that wasn't particularly set out for you just because it's maybe a trend, or friends are doing it, or sometimes it could be that it's your family and they've all done it, so you just do it, but it doesn't mean it's yours. You've got to see if things resonate with you. If it's a struggle to do and you find no joy in it and no lightness, no progress, then you might have to really look at, are you on the right path? And the right path at the moment could just be going inside you. Well, spiritual is inside. Religion is external, spiritual is internal. So your path should start from inside of you and end inside of you, to be fair. But obviously, while we're living in a human life, we experience the path as part of our humanness, but we also have the control center and the power engine inside. And inside, as above, so below, as above, the energy that is above, that creative force is within us. So as we go within, we're also connecting to above. And as we do the work within, we get so without. So it's just a cycle of that hermetic axiom that goes on all the time. So my favourite of the hermetic principles, axioms I should say, as above so below, is one of my favourite because I can see how it works in the macro and micro. The other day I was doing something and I felt some type of way, like not quite positive about something, and I just heard a voice say, if you just shift how you feel about what you're thinking right now, just shift it a little bit, everything about the whole situation would change. And it did. Just a little shift in perception changed my whole energy about the situation. So it shows how much power we've got in our own hands if we just go inside and just make a little shift, make a little adjustment, and we find a new place to be in that doesn't drag our energy down. And we need a lot more of that in this world. This card keeps coming up. Choose your battles. It's constantly coming up, and I think it's because people are going to be more and more, because of the duality in this matrix, as you rise in your light, in your power, there'll be equal and opposite power trying to rise against you. And that's nothing to be scared of, because as long as you keep your vibration right, it can't do anything. However, sometimes it means that you'll have people around you who seem to be trying to annoy you, pick fights. The media will be pumping things out to try and mess with your vibration. And you just got to know sometimes what to even focus on, and choose your battles wisely. We already often have a battle within us. There's no point engaging at the moment in any battles external to yourself. Win against you, but anyone else. Like, what do we gain from arguments online, arguments on Facebook about whether people have had certain injections or not, whether people are wearing face nappies or not? What is the point? Like, you might as well just leave people to it. I think when you operate from inside you, the rest of the world that doesn't vibrate at the same vibration you vibrate at becomes like almost like you're watching it on a stage, like you're watching it through a thick glass wall. You have no connection to it. You see what's going on. You see it. You just don't experience it, and it becomes easier to operate when you operate from within, because you're not operating from a place of the is the fear factory. I won't keep you on too long today because obviously it's the first one, and yeah, this is the first one. Don't know why that makes any difference. But it's my first one on Instagram Live doing on my own. I used to do some lives on Facebook on my own, but it was just doing like, a few card pull personal readings, not ones where I was talking about spiritual stuff as well. So this is new to me, so thank you to the people who have joined today. So I think this is a beautiful card to finish on today. Because in the daytime, when I did my one card reading for the collective, I had Love Begins. And I said that was about self-love and working with self-love, but also because of raising the vibration and the electromagnetic frequency from the heart, you attract your tribe, but you can also attract love. But this Simply Love makes me feel the same. It's love. It's all about love. And as we raise in our ascension process, all our chakras will just become. They will have the same function, but they'll operate just from that love of the heart chakra. It's all heart centered. Last year, the guides all kept saying, different people in the channeling their guides, different downloads from guides. Go, get into your heart, get into your heart, get into your heart. It's love, it's love. That's all they wanted to say. It's about love. Love. And people think when you say love, you mean the wishy-washy love that humans talk about. And no, we mean the force behind the whole of creation. And that's in your heart chakra, essence of that. So get into your heart chakra. Get in there and feel from there. And if anything doesn't feel right from there, it's not right for you. If you drop it from your mind into your heart chakra and see what your heart chakra feels about it. If it doesn't feel right in there, if it gives you heart chakra ache or pressure, just get out of it. So that's a lovely card to finish on, Simply Love. Thank you to you beautiful energies who have joined me today. It's been lovely, and I might adjust the purpose a bit of the live on Wednesdays because I enjoyed talking about the spiritual things while doing the cards as well. I really did enjoy doing that, and thank you for being here because it helped my confidence in doing a live alone as well. So, namaste, and I'll speak to you all soon.